Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Today, everyone is a product and everyone needs marketing to succeed. So let's talk about it right now on Marketing Unfiltered with award-winning creative expert Wendi Cooper and her co-host John Hamilton.
Hey, John.
Clap. Hey, Wen.
Hey, good evening, everybody. You are here at C-Spot Talk Marketing Unfiltered with me, your host, Wendi Cooper.
And your co-host, John Hamilton.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight, everybody.
Hey, John, is it going to be me or is it going to be you that tells Tony to shut that camera?
It's going to be you because I think you just did it.
Can you shut John's camera?
She doesn't like not be able to gaze at me. There we go.
Even more.
All the way.
I want it all the way.
Now that we got that fixed, how's
Okay,
your week been since last Tuesday? A long one, rough, huh? Deep breaths.
No, actually, I think I have a new client, and I'm excited about my new client.
Can you talk about it yet?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I hope. Fingers crossed. Mamma Guard. Paul was here.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be awesome because I'm going to do everything for them. He needs 6 of my hands. Right. So, yeah, that's going to be a good thing. And then while I was in his office, in his partner's office in Century City, the funniest thing happened. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking about, more branding stuff and coming in and helping them with all of that stuff. Just coming in and being their CMO, basically.
Sure.
And the guy's son, not Paul's, but his investor's son comes in. He's like 40. And he's showing me these things. And I'm going, oh, this is cool. Okay, yeah, got it. Cool. And then he looks at me and he goes, do you know, and he shows me this video. And I went, oh, I could improve on that, in my head. And then he says, do you know anybody that does that thing called direct response television? And I went,
that thing, huh?
Oh, well, yes, I do. So that's kind of an awesome thing. So hopefully that'll be a gig I get for just probably doing their video and maybe helping them with their media and things like that. So that would be awesome. That's cool.
That would be awesome.
And it's great that we're talking about this because our guest tonight is from this direct response world that I work in.
Well, that's a really good segue actually into it.
Yeah. But let me ask you first.
Yeah.
How have you been? I heard you had some sleepovers.
We did. We babysat the segment producer, your actual nieces,
my great nieces, yes.
My nieces by surrogacy, sort of, whatever. Your
Let's be honest.
Your nephew's daughters.
That's right. So you babysat. You had the first sleepover. Finally you got permission to have the golden ones for a sleepover.
Give it a few.
Awesome.
That's fine. Now they're old enough to where you can't really break them. So I think that was a good enough amount of time. But they were so fun and so yummy and so cute.
I know, especially the pictures you took of them on the toilet with the Easy GoPro. Sorry. I'm not showing anything. I'm just talking about it. It was so cute to see the little golden first one. I think whose feet are those?
I don't remember.
I'm not going to say the name.
She takes care. She took care of potty and shower time. I did.
Yeah, but it was awesome. Well, you know what was awesome about it was so I pitched my toilet stool as also. Sorry, I'm talking to you. I haven't even introduced you. but I love this guy. So I want to talk to him. Sorry, John. Tony, see you later.
Tony and I will just do our own thing then over here.
Wait a minute. I'm going to introduce our guest tonight.
Yeah, bring him in.
So that we can bring him in.
He's got a lot to say. He's a fun personality.
It's really awesome because I have a little story. It's a story to tell about. First, let me tell this story. Okay, Adam Klugman is here tonight, and then I'll go back to him. But I want to say thank you for being here because God damn it, I can't stand it if you're not talking. Okay.
Am I on?
Thank you. There you are. You're on.
I'm on now.
That's our audience.
Okay, so
thank you and thank your audience.
Listen to that radio voice. That's a great voice.
That's because he is a radio dude.
I had a radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well,
something like the madness.
Mad as hell in America.
Mad as hell in America.
I like it. Passion.
What were you mad about?
Politics. It was a political talk show.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this Adam Klugman that is talking with his beautiful radio voice is an award.
Very beautiful radio voice.
He's an award-winning creative director for Creative Compound, an ad agency and production company based out of Los Angeles. Over the years,
just a few.
he has worked alongside agencies in Chicago, San Francisco, Portland, such as Wyden and Kennedy. Not Whedon, people. Not Whedon. Wyden and Kennedy, DMB&B, Leo Burnett,
Donut Wall.
Thank you. That's always been hard to say.
It's quite all right.
Okay. And Lambesis.
Lambesis.
Not Lambesis, not...
Lambesis.
His list of national clients, I have to tell you, they
They're pretty
include Nike,
major.
Disney, General Motors, Viacom, MGM, and 1-800 dentist.
1-800-Dentist.
That's a
Early
that's
days
a big
of
one.
DR.
That's a huge one.
Oh, yeah.
So
I learned a lot there, probably more there than anywhere.
we were having so much fun in the green room. So I'm so excited because it's not often that I have a guest on air that speaks totally my language.
Oh, really?
And it is a language that we speak.
It is a language. I'm not entirely fluent as yourself, but I do have my own pidgin version.
You're
of it.
being creative director. There's the whole thing is that in direct response over the years is if you have to understand the guts and the glory of everything in order to be the best creative director
Agreed.
possible.
And you have to like DR because it's measurable, and I like it. I love top of mind stuff, but how often do you really remember it? There's discipline to DR.
There's discipline to
and
DR.
I don't think that the people who have the $500,000 a year salaries at Wyden and Kennedy have enough respect for it because it's hard to do.
No, they don't understand it whatsoever.
Let's just be
but
really inspirational and weird and spend a lot of the client's money, and
Yeah,
they have a
exactly.
really fat job. And,
how fun is that?
But DR is discipline, man.
Yeah.
And it seems
discipline.
very
Every dollar you
difficult.
spend, you have to
You're
show
a-
that it's making money.
Yeah.
You are accountable to.
Totally.
I like that about
But the
it.
big agencies are more and more. You need to listen to. You don't need to do anything that I tell you, but if you would like,
I'm listening.
there's why I got into radio 4 years ago is because I was on the show called The Beancast. I was a guest, and it's the hot topics of today's marketing and advertising, and it's with Bob Norp and Saul. It's just with different guests. Sometimes people from Wyden. And
Whedon.
sometimes people from, but anyway, it's really awesome. But it's the hot topics of today, and it's really you learn so much. And it's called the Beancast. It's a podcast, and it's fresh every Monday on iTunes. But I have no freaking idea why I started.
You
down
were
that
telling me
alley.
I needed to listen. So it had something to do with, I think you were segueing into, because of this Beancast thing, there was something I needed to know that you wanted me to know.
You're of no help.
I'm sorry.
Talking in the green room.
Was I right?
You are of no
Talking in the
help.
green
You guys
room?
were talking in the green room.
We were.
That began the whole snowball effect.
I'll think
that
of
is
it. I
Wendy's
will think
stream
of it. But
consciousness.
meanwhile, I do want to remind everybody watching and listening, and I do know what our stats are now, and so it is actually quite a few people
Yeah,
that
I was
are
impressed,
listening,
yeah.
and that this is the Jack Klugman's. Why did I just say that? Klugman's son.
Jack Klugman's son.
Jack Klugman's son. Jack Klugman is the
You know?
Odd
The
Couple.
Odd Couple.
You know,
Yes, and your mother
my mother.
is
Yes.
Brett Summers, and
Yes.
I grew up thinking that she was like when we were sitting in the green room and I was talking about Phyllis Diller and all that. I mean, your mom's Brett Summers, and she's a crazy one on Match Game.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Could you imagine those two people married? It was like a Japanese monster movie.
She was the one
like wings flapping and cities falling and fire breathing
But they're
dragons.
hysterical. So I mean, and you clearly have that spirit in you. I mean, you can tell that you're a very funny, lighthearted guy. So I imagine some of that came from your parents and your experiences.
If you didn't have a big personality, you weren't going to survive.
you
Yes,
couldn't get your food for the day.
There they were. The
Wow.
only mistake they ever made was getting married.
But then what of you?
They were great for a number of years. Loved my parents very much. It's separate cages at all times.
Just huge personalities.
Just the huge personalities.
That can be tough
And,
to
and
fit
when
in
they
one
would
house.
rise up against each other, it was
Ooh.
like Mothra and Godzilla. I mean, it could just be devastating.
There's this montage that I kind of did for the to put on Twitter and to say that you were going to be on the show. Did you see the thing that
No,
I
I
did?
didn't.
Oh, you
No,
didn't see
no.
it? Well, there's this one picture of your mom on, I think it was on the Match Game, and she's going like this.
I
She's
bel-
flipping somebody out like, fuck you, to like the photographer.
Oh.
It's so funny. And I had that, and I thought, I used it or not, but it was like I just wanted it to be in this little section.
My
It's so funny. That was your mom.
my mom was tough, man. She was tough. She was funny. She was the funniest woman I've ever known. But
You have to look. You have to watch some old, tapes of Match Game
Match
or
Game.
whatever. She was because Charles Nelson Riley. Do you know who that was? Charles Nelson Riley.
The name, yeah, everyone look, yes, yes. No, I don't know who that is.
that's it. Nor should they.
Nor should they. They really shouldn't.
I hope your lives are more interesting than game
Yeah.
shows from the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in like
No,
musical
they're
theater
not.
or anything, so maybe if we were, we would know more of our history on that.
Oh,
There's, look at him. He's got it pulled up. Charles Nelson Riley. So they would. So
Oh, he
when they
looks
would
like what's his name?
they would do this show, and it was basically a cocktail party. They would shoot 2 weeks worth of shows on a Friday and Saturday, and they'd be off for 2 weeks. And so they worked 4 days. It was the best job you could ever have.
That
They
sounds
would
amazing.
4 days a month. They would drink through all of it.
And
right?
smoke.
It was just drinking and smoking.
Oh
and
yeah, they'd be
they
just
would
smoking on television. They're
love that.
smoking.
Just
Oh, the
partying.
good old days.
What a great job!
So casual.
It was the best job you could
And
possibly
they were all
have.
comedians, right? And then they would have she
That's
was a regular.
amazing.
Charles Nelson Riley was a regular.
Dick Dawson was a regular.
Dick Dawson
Those were
was-
like the
yeah.
three
Yeah.
anchors of it all.
Yeah, exactly. And then the celebrities would be the rotating factor.
Right.
Right. The celebrities of the day would be
Yeah.
the
For
rotating
sure.
factor.
Right.
And the
yeah,
whole
right.
format was, John. John pulled out went up to Jane and pulled out his blank, and then you would.
And
you'd
Jane
have,
would be
you'd
like,
have to fill it, and then
Yeah.
you'd have to fill it in, and then you'd match the contestants to the celebrities, and that was the game.
Bird duty.
Highly intelligent, highly intellectual endeavor.
Hey, give it a year and that'll get picked up right again. And it'll be back on TV.
I bet you that would be funny. They tried to bring back kind of versions of it, like when they did Howie Mandel did that thing with the suitcases and the $100.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, I choose number 72. Oh, me?
These? Oh, I mean this.
So,
Did your parents have a long marriage? Was their parent like
They were married.
Did they make it? Were they able to?
They made it about 18 years, which for
That's-
them
that's long.
is a miracle. For I've been married longer, but that's,
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But it was for them to last 18 years. It was pretty good. They were incredibly strong personalities and both intensely fiery. So
Yeah, but there's some
what
really
was it like
interesting stories.
being their son? You have a brother also.
I have an older brother. Yeah,
You have an older brother. How much older?
He's about 4.5 years older than I am, and he's a shrink.
And
so
where
that
did
should
you
tell you a lot.
where'd you grow up?
Perfect.
Adam, was it here in Los Angeles?
Born in New York, lived in Connecticut, and then I moved out here just in time for the 70s and my adolescence.
Me too. But when were you born? Can I
63.
ask? Oh God, I'm older than you. Never mind. I didn't ask.
Never mind. Rewind.
How old? When were you born? I'm just kidding.
I'm hiding now.
But she has the same story.
No, I'm hiding.
No, you moved out here when you were young.
We lived in
From
New
the East
York.
Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, you grew up in? Did you grow up
Then
in?
we moved to Tarzana, and Tarzana was short lived. And my first my first friend was I was 10 years old. And growing up in Long Island, we moved to
Long Island.
We moved to
Island.
we were all like 6 kids. Okay, right. I was I think 9 or 10. And so we're coming from Long Island, where my brother was like, we didn't wear jeans. He wore like black pants with like these
Which
like
brother?
kind of Tim
Okay.
stiletto-y like
That's
black
her dad, by the
shoes.
way.
Kind of yeah, that's her dad, by the way. Kind of like these.
Okay.
Kind of like these.
Hush
like
puppies.
these. No, it wasn't. He wasn't wearing hush puppies.
Love
it
hush
was
puppies.
different. They were black, like they weren't hush puppies. He wished he had hush puppies because he had these like West Side freaking Story shoes on. Okay, seriously.
Like, what do you mean West Side
Singing
Story?
down
shoes?
the street.
Don't you? No,
Like
I'm
what?
older than you. You don't remember? They used to wear these straight pants and then
Yeah.
these black
Yeah.
like shoes.
Like Victorian Arab,
yeah,
like
but
pointed
the guy
Pointies.
said
Pointy.
that's
Pointy
what everybody was
shoes.
Yeah,
wearing.
they were
Yeah.
slick. Yeah,
But
yeah,
when
they
you
were-
came to California in the Valley, you didn't wear that. You
No, you
wore
didn't.
hush puppies, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you
Or
wore
flip-flops.
or
Flip-flops.
not flip flops. Not back then. You couldn't wear flip flops to school.
Oh.
Me, I came here wearing wool and frickin' knee socks, okay? And everybody's wearing bobby socks with white kids, and I'm going, bobby socks with white kids? Where's that? I have like wool knee socks, and we went through a really traumatic
Wow.
change when we came over here as young kids
It
from New
sounds
York
traumatic.
to Los Angeles. But my first friend was Beth Marks. Her father was the director producer, I think, of Perry Mason. My mom's favorite show.
That's wild.
How old were you when you moved out here?
10. And we
I
lived
wa-
in Tarzana.
Same age. I was the same age when I moved
But
out.
I was born in 55.
Right, you were a little bit older, but I moved out here when I was 10 from the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
very traumatic.
I
It's
wasn't-
it's very different.
It was very different. I came out. I loved the snow. Grew up on this hill, and it was snow. It was like this Norman Rockwell, Connecticut thing. And I woke up one morning about a week after we arrived in California, and we had this huge spruce right out in front of where we lived. And I went out. I had a dream that I opened the window and it was covered with snow. And then I actually woke up and I went to the window and I looked out, and there was no snow on it. It was all sun, and I thought, this is going to suck.
You're like, this is not how it used to be.
it sucked for about a year and a half.
I was
and
going to
then
say, then you got used to it.
Then I turned 13, 14, and it was
Girls wear less
Summer.
on
it was
things.
the
skateboards,
70s,
yeah.
man, and we were free, and there was no adult supervision, so it was wild.
That's fun.
It was great.
That's fun.
Where did you first move when you came out here?
Homely Hills.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Rough life.
My
Rough
father was
life.
a television star. It's not
Rough
my fault.
one.
I mean, Jesus.
Of all for all of you that don't know the area, of all the hills in LA, Holmby Hills
that's
is
the
the
one
hill
you
you want to
live
be
in.
on. That's
But-
the hill you want to be on.
Bought this house. It was expensive, I guess. Then it was a house.
Right, it was like
in Homely
28,000
Hills.
then.
It was 100. It was a 5,000 square foot house, swimming pool, view of the city.
Just classic.
$170,000. $170,000. But by 79, my mother wanted to sell it. I begged her, please don't sell this
Keep
house.
it for the
but her
future.
her shrink was saying, well, it's
Sell,
time to move
sell.
on. and,
Right.
you know,
Let
you
go
need
of the
to move-
past and all that.
And by
Let go of $10 million potentially.
by 1985, that house was worth $4 million. By 2000, it's worth about $25 million.
Yikes.
And my mother said, next
Woulda,
shrink,
coulda,
next,
shoulda.
next shrink, I got a little financial advice.
Yeah. Next shrink is also going to be a real estate agent on the side.
Exactly.
Here's something
Exactly.
kind of funny. I was telling Adam in the green room that there's a little funny, quirky story that I had. So how I know Adam, which I didn't until tonight, was that I know Andrew, who works at Creative Compound.
Right.
But I knew Andrew, and I know Andrew from my friend Blair Taylor. Okay, so here's the funny thing. I sent. He just told me his boss, his creative director. He never referred to you as a name of a person, right?
Oh,
and I
right.
said, cool, he used to be on radio, and he'd be really great. And I'm going, cool, DR, creative director, used to be on radio. This is awesome. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right.
He has a head? Cool.
No, I was actually excited about it, right? So 2 days ago, or a day, whatever it was, I wrote, Andrew says, is there any more details I can have for them like that? And I wrote back and I said, yeah, you can give me who is this freaking guy?
Yep.
And then he
Yeah.
sends over that it's you. And I went,
Oh.
this is awesome. Because I didn't know.
And then you got
I
his
did
writer,
not
and you're like,
know.
oh, I need the rosé.
Right. You had.
No, I just did
And the
not
rosé
know.
is very good, by the way.
I love, The
rosé.
rosé's not so bad, huh?
It's working. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tasty.
And I got rosé, by the way, bitch, because you like rosé.
Slow
You're
clap.
right. It's
Okay.
He's drinking Pinot.
I didn't get Pinot because I knew he liked rosé, so I got
I got
rosé.
white so it wouldn't stain the teeth.
You know what Marina would say?
On air.
But you're
my
right.
God.
Rosé season is upon us, so it's almost time to switch back to my what do I like? Segment producer, Cote, something like that. Yeah,
Because
something
it comes from the Côte de Provence.
from that Cote de Provence. Oh yeah, that's good. Is it
Oui,
dry?
oui.
This is also called whining unfiltered.
Can we cut to the chase now?
We
What
got
is
to go
the
to break.
No, but
Oh.
we could if you want to take.
Oh,
a
I
break.
thought
Yeah.
it's 8:20. Well, no, I think
No,
we got a
at
few more
8:30 we'll
minutes.
take a break, and we'll have about four minutes because we're going to run all of the
We'll just do
commercials
one.
all at once, including my Easy Go Pro commercial.
Love Easy Go Pro. It was a
Do you
revelation.
like my commercial?
I
the
like
one I did for that one.
Yes.
So there was Squatty Potty commercial, and then there was the Easy Go Pro.
Right,
commercial.
and I got the backstory on it.
Well, everybody that listens to my show knows.
No
the
pun
backstory,
intended.
too.
Did.
So I had a question. The first round, the animated round, was that the first spot you made? for
Oh.
Easy Go Pro. So there was the Squatty Potty. And then there was an animated kind of. No, it wasn't.
There
What
was
was the first?
Squatty Potty. There was
Right.
Squatty Potty.
Saw that.
And then there was my commercial, which I air, which I
Right.
never aired on TV because I never had to.
Right.
That one. Okay. And then there was the animated one.
And why?
Animated was
I had
the
a
last
question,
one.
for, a DR question for you. That I was because it was a matter of sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Why it was very effective.
The
right?
animated one.
The animated one was very effective.
You wanna know why?
But what? Yeah, I do.
So the commercial that everybody is about to see at 8:30, you're going to see if you're watching, or you can watch on YouTube later. The commercial, my Easy Go Pro commercial that I produced, but I'm also in, and it's a direct response commercial.
Right.
Okay, right. So it's important only because the animated video one. So there's an animated whiteboard where it says the drawing and really what happens, and that's kind of takes a different approach, kind of more fun, kind of kooky approach. I wrote that by the way.
But it was also anyway. Keep going.
Let me continue. The DRTV commercial one, this one, the regular commercial one, when you're talking about a toilet stool, it's really interesting. CNN will not allow us to air this commercial that people are about to see in 5 minutes on CNN. They don't feel that is something that their viewers want to see. So even with Squatty Potty, I had to position the creative to get past the standards and practices of the stations. So as a creative director and a producer, you know that you have to go through that process of getting approved.
Of course.
And because it's a new category and it's a toilet stool, they're like, nobody wants to talk about this.
Sure.
It's like, no, everybody should. Everybody should be talking about it. That's why we did a television commercial.
So you made the animated one to get on CNN?
No, I made the animated one just to have online.
Okay.
But I am very proud of the fact, and you know what, Bobby Edwards, if you're watching from Squatty Potty, I'm very proud of the fact that I have grown my company to be, with very little investment, riding on the coattails and the heels of this very large investment in media that Squatty Potty, my competition, does. And I know how to growth hack their growth. So that's what I've done, and I'm really good at it, and I don't spend any money on marketing. I spend maybe $500 a month, but that is not the norm, people.
What?
I just am really good. I've been in DR for 20 years.
Right, you know.
I've been managing the back end of campaigns for a very long time. I know what to do, and I'm always the person that's kind of like ahead of the game. And so if you can growth hack something the way that I've done, look, I'm not proud. I'm going to look right at camera when I say this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not proud of the fact that I had to take an ex-client and copy their ass, or I'll actually make a better mousetrap. Yes, I just said it, a better mousetrap.
It is true, and it's not just because of bias, but
just
it is true.
go on Amazon and see what people are saying about our product. People turning in their Squatty Potties for Easy Go Pro. It's America, everybody. It is America. We are allowed to do the Pepsi Coke challenge.
We can.
Right? It's called free trade.
Hey, and based on what you told me, you gave them an opportunity to play fair
and
do the right thing, and they didn't,
God.
so they deserve what they got.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God. So let them light the world on fire and change everybody's butt at a time, whatever they say they're going to change.
One magic unicorn at a time.
Who cares? But you keep spending that $500,000 on your magic pooping unicorn, and I'll sit back and I'll just reap the benefits from your investment in Howard Stern and everywhere else that you go, because I am the coolest number two toilet stool
Pun intended.
in the world.
Number two.
And number two ain't bad.
So now let me step back from that. Let me step back from that and say that's not the norm, people. It's just it happens that
that's a lot of experience and expertise.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's freaking awesome
You're
that
a pro.
I figured out how to do that.
It is. That's a wonderful thing.
What are some of your tricks of the trade? If you can share any without being too...
I don't have the kind of tricks that Wendi has.
Really? I find that hard to believe with a voice like that. with the personality and a presence like that.
With the Klugman last name.
Yeah, with that last name.
I don't have a lot of... I mean, I don't...
Do you
So
like sushi?
my job is about being creative. So I don't
Right, he's a
manage...
creative director.
And my prime directive from Jeff Markowitz, who owns Creative Compound, is just be creative. I don't want you to do anything else.
I would love
That's
Jeff.
all I pay you to do.
If Adam drops dead
It's the best.
310-415.
She loves her guests, by the way. If you ever want to be a guest on the show, contact Wendi Cooper.
It's the best.
That is
It's the
such a
best job in the
great
world because
job.
I get to just be creative.
Oh, my
And I go
God.
home. I'm the first guy on this. I'm the last guy on the set. I'm the first guy to leave.
That is.
So I get to
that's
go and make
nice.
opinions and form
Oh, my
opinions,
God.
make everything
I
work,
love
and then I go. It's
you.
the best. I
And it
love.
excites you and it fulfills you.
Yeah,
nothing
and I
better.
Really, that's the American dream.
and I
right?
like DR. I like DR.
There's nothing
I
better.
find it really
Everything is
challenging.
DR right now.
And I
Everything
agree.
is DR.
It's really you're finding
Everything.
it going back to DR because the top of mind stuff you throw out these huge nets and you hope that people are going to remember you and you spend ridiculous amounts of money catching all kinds of fish that you don't need.
Some of them are dolphins. You
and
got to
you know
throw them
what?
back.
So the
There's-
DR is something that really allows you to be very specific. I'm seeing a lot of clients coming back towards DR, particularly hybrid stuff. Particularly hybrid
everything
stuff.
is DR.
So explain
Yeah.
to me this term hybrid because
So, well,
that's something
hybrid-
that's
Do you want to explain?
You
it?
go first. Well, first of all, let me just say this: everybody has a different definition of what a
Well,
hybrid is.
Okay,
I
okay,
want
fair
I want to
enough.
say that I am the queen of hybrid.
okay.
Of course
Very.
you
I
would.
can't tell if you're
Yeah.
glaring at me or
Hail
the
to
camera.
Hail to
No,
the
I
queen,
am.
and I will concede.
And here's
And
why.
her hybrid Prius is parked
ahead.
out front.
Go ahead.
And here's why. Go on my website and watch the spot. It's called Sozoderm, Once in a Lifetime. It's a 1-minute spot and it's freaking
So-
beautiful.
What
It's
was-
really
what was-
beautiful.
What was is that for the
It never,
toilet thing?
No, it's a beautiful spot. So it was that is the epitome of a hybrid. So what I did was, I think it was like 2009, maybe 2011, 2010, 2009. I came up with this it was before vanity URLs were cool. Like a vanity URL is like a vanity 800 number, right? So like onceinaLifetime.com. So it's not
okay.
Sozoderm, which was the brand. It is the tagline and the through thought of the commercial, once in a lifetime. And shut up, Cassidy. You know,
Just doing my job.
You see the door?
Just doing my job.
Cassidy, you see
Hold on,
you
we
see
have
the
30
door?
seconds, so we have to go to commercials. So
Shut
finish
up.
your
We
thought.
don't have to do this. All right.
He
So-
gave us a minute.
But anyway, listen. So hybrid is when you take a branding look
Okay.
and you take the fundamentals and the tactics of direct response, which is kind of a CTA or whatever it might be. But you can bring this high quality branding look into the spot. So it's not yell and sell. It's not shitty production. It's beautiful production mixed with a brand narrative that then ends with a CTA. But the overall look is beautiful.
I think that's a
So
pretty
it's
good
like more. It's more indirect.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
it's still
Channel.
direct.
It's still. I mean, you're
still
still
direct.
doing lower thirds. You're still doing CTAs.
You're just doing it in a more classy, beautiful, elegant way.
But you're looking at the brand and you're saying, like, what is
Yes.
what is the brand tone?
Yes.
And
Okay,
what
right.
is the central brand
Yes.
message and how can we work that?
Yes.
We just made some really
Yes.
wonderful hybrid spots. I'm very proud
Yeah.
of. So you're usually it's the yell and sell. It's problem solution,
Yeah.
and that's DR. It's just
Yeah.
like here's the problem, here's the solution. The problem's really big. The solution's
Right.
really easy, and that's what DR is. But when you're making
Blend
a
the
hybrid,
two of brand.
you say, okay,
Right.
well, what is the central brand message? So if they don't
But it-
have one, you develop it for them. But some of the companies that come, they have brand documents, they have brand strategies.
Yes.
Right.
So you try to call that and make sure that you're including it, and then you're giving clients kind of a twofer. You're getting
Yeah.
measurable response, but you're also building top
Sure.
of mind,
And, you're,
that's why it
and
works.
you,
so well.
you're using top of mind and like visuals almost with
And tone.
direct response tactics or
Yes.
fundamentals of direct response. Which there's always a destination, a CTA, something like that. You're driving them to a destination. It's
Right.
just not a branding spot where woo, look at me, we're AT&T.
I hope
and
you
we're
remember
really
us
cool.
next time you're
Okay.
buying toothpaste. That's,
Right.
That's like top of mind.
Go to a
Okay.
destination.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, we are going to be right back because Tony's chomping at the bit
Take
to cut
us
to
out,
commercial.
Tony.
Go,
All
Tony.
right, we'll
Go.
be back in a few.
Go.
In an average lifetime, 1,500,000 minutes are spent on the toilet. So what's the problem?
When you sit on a toilet, you're at a 90-degree angle.
Nature didn't want us to do it that way.
This causes pushing, straining, hemorrhoids.
That's crazy.
We want to create a product that is great for humanity.
Well, go time just got easier. Introducing Easy Go Pro, the only way to go.
Anatomically, we were designed to eliminate at a 35-degree
every angle.
You just sit, lift, and go in a natural position.
The benefits list is this long from a pure health perspective.
A healthy colon is encouraged by doctors for all ages.
The key to vitality is the key to longevity. It's the key to your health.
Be a healthy goer. Order now at EasyGoPro.com. Try it for 70 days. If you don't absolutely feel better, just send it back for a full product refund. Go Time just got healthier at EasyGoPro.com.
Are you sick of being stressed, overwhelmed, and unmotivated? Do you feel life is running you instead of you running your life? If so, then listen up. There's a breakthrough program built on over 100 years of therapies commonly used with America's returning veterans to help them successfully overcome PTSD, pain, and depression. According to the Huffington Post, in 2012, when music therapy was added to the rehabilitation program at Walter Reed's Medical Center for Wounded Veterans, medical professionals noticed patients' positive emotional response to music. Music has been shown to improve the quality of life. If you're looking for alternative healing for anxiety, depression, and pain, why not experience the therapeutic ability of Whole Tones? Whole Tones makes use of specially designed frequencies inspired by King David, interweaved through soothing songs that stimulate your body's natural healing process. If it works for battle-scarred vets, can it work for you? Experience it for yourself for free at freewholetones.com. That's freewholetones.com. That's free, WHOLE, tones.com.
If you need direct response television media planning and buying, then Direct Avenue is your best bet. Besides being a media specialty, direct response television advertising is the smartest form of advertising today. Direct Avenue is a short form media agency where direct response meets branded television advertising. It takes master planning, negotiating, buying, tracking, and reporting to run an effective advertising campaign in order to have sustainable growth. I've been nothing but impressed with everyone at Direct Avenue. As a CMO consultant, I need to feel connected to the entire supply chain of a campaign, and I trust that Direct Avenue is doing the best job possible. Direct Avenue understands the urgency in planning, negotiating rates, flexibility, and agility in leveraging relationships that allow for a smart and efficient media test. The leadership at Direct Avenue know their sweet spot, and they stick to it. These days, media planning and buying supported with the best systems to track transactions from phone, mobile, web, social, and search back to your media dollars is what it's all about if you want to grow your campaign and deliver a robust ROI. Direct Avenue has been around for a long time and delivering great services for many years. In fact, here's the number of Scott Kowalczyk, the CEO. 760-579-4210. That is his direct number. Again, it's 760-579-4210. Or you can go to directavenue.com, check them out, and get a free analysis for your campaign. When was the last time a CEO gave out his direct number on radio? Well, that just goes to show you what Scott's all about. So call Scott at 760-579-4210.
And we are back. Hello, Wendi.
Woo! That was cool.
And Adam, our wonderful guest this evening.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Adam Klugman.
I'm Klugman.
Adam Klugman.
Klugman. So when we were coming in, Adam was up at Ola's desk, and I arrived. So we arrived together. And you turned around, and I thought, you were Kip. I really did. When I looked at it, I knew you were Adam, but Kip King is Chris Kattan's dad. Kip King was an original groundling. Okay,
I never knew that.
Who is much older than you are. But when I knew Kip when he was younger, he looked just like you. He did. He looked exactly like you. And it was really interesting because, to go back to the red frickin' skeleton stupid thing, Kip King, I hadn't seen, Kip was my commercial acting teacher when I was in my 20s. Okay.
Whoa.
Did you want to be an actress?
Was this? And this is just after.
No, I wanted to be a commercial actress. I never knew. I was working for Lloyd Zeiderman. He was like the business manager to the Stars. I was making out with Paul Michael Glaser.
Is this before or after Club Med?
Paul
before.
Before Club Med.
Before.
Okay, yeah.
Starsky and Hutch, man.
They don't know.
I know, you gotta stop putting us on the spot, dude. We grew up with Saved by the Bell. Okay.
So Lloyd
So true.
I Love Lucy, yes, and then it skips straight to Saved by the Bell.
Odd Couple, absolutely. I absolutely.
Yeah,
I think it was. I'm impressed that you knew who
No,
he
and
was.
your
that-
father did like a dramatic movies after.
He did some, yeah.
Yeah,
He was-
absolutely.
He was a dramatic. He was in.
He's
something
a dramatic
called-
guy.
He was a dramatic guy.
Yeah.
He was a very dramatic fellow. He did something called 12 Angry Men.
I knew it. I was gonna ask, but then I
Cassidy.
didn't know if it
Yeah.
was Jack
Wait,
Lemmon.
is her mic
No,
on?
it's a
Mike,
good-
yes,
Is her
it
mic
is.
on? Okay.
I didn't
Cass,
know if
your
it was
mic is
Jack
on.
Lemmon.
Your mic is
yeah,
on.
I know.
Okay.
That's why
okay.
it's in my face.
Thanks. But
12 Angry Men.
Oh my
Black
God, I was
and
gonna
white.
say
It was
that. That's
with.
literally one of the best things. And Amy Schumer just recently redid that sketch, and Paul Giamatti was nominated for an Emmy being on it. Do you know who Amy Schumer is?
Yeah, of course.
She's brilliant.
Thank you for asking.
Sorry,
that.
no, I'm just checking.
I'm old but
Old
not dead.
dude.
I'm
Old
old
dude.
but not dead. And I do know him, but
No,
thank
but
you.
yeah, but 12 Angry Men. I mean, that was legendary.
Oh yeah, that was what Henry Fonda.
Oh my God.
I don't
Lee
know.
J.
I don't know.
Cobb.
I didn't read.
Have you never seen 12
I
Angry Men?
didn't read
Oh
To Kill a
my-
Mockingbird
John.
or 12 Angry
Yeah,
Men.
she didn't graduate 10th grade math, so
I didn't.
So
Oh,
just
it's
talk to me
English,
about
it's
it.
fine.
It's
That's
amazing.
fine.
English.
It was a
It was
different
English.
time.
It
Yeah,
was
it was
English.
English.
It
That was a
wasn't
different
math.
time.
I
That was a
wasn't here
different
last
time.
week.
I took 10th
I'm
grade
impressed
math.
that you know all this
yeah,
old time
Well,
stuff.
my mother's license plate was movie buff, so
Oh,
she, yeah. No, I
Then
know
she,
this
is your mom alive?
No, she's
No.
not. But
But every time you
Neither
see a
is
black
mine.
and white movie,
cheers to our mothers. But yes.
Yeah,
no,
but
your
you're
father
young.
was
How old
amazing.
How old was she when she died?
She was 53.
That's way too young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
That's way,
way
too
too
young. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't mean to bring it down. I just
no.
it's
I'm-
real
Not
life.
bringing me
It's
down,
not.
but
We're
that-
honoring
you
her.
know,
We're
Chris,
honoring her
I'm
because she
sure-
was
I-
incredible.
She would love that.
She probably would
She's
love my
in
dad.
this.
She's
Yeah, yeah.
literally
Excuse me.
probably giving you a shoulder massage right now.
She is. She's in this. She's here right now.
Yeah.
I can, she is.
Yeah.
She's
Good,
dancing
good,
around the
good,
room.
She is.
good.
Yeah.
She is.
I was gonna say 12 Angry Men though, but
big
then I
one.
didn't. Jack Lemmon because they also did the movie
The grumpy old men.
Yeah, so I didn't
Get him
wanna-
confused. Yeah.
No, he didn't do those. movies.
No.
No, but
He
yeah.
was, my dad was kind of.
What
a
was
TV.
it like growing up and being like your dad's son? I mean, seriously, you know, my son is an artist and he paints these beautiful pieces that are very big, and he has a very good client. His name's Nick Cassavetes, and Nick has a couple of daughters.
John
and-
Cassavetes' son?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a client too.
And you're a
Don't
client,
forget.
yeah. But and Nick actually owns quite a few pieces of Chances, and one of the pieces that he owned, he bought for his daughter, and it was really kind of a little bit of a weird piece, I thought, but she loved it, and it was a sign of Hollywood, and then it had like kind of a ghostly thing. It's just really
Oh, is that
kind of
kind of like
pop
the collage sort of pop? Yeah. I know
yeah,
what you mean.
and she loved
like
it.
those.
Chance
Those are pretty.
asked her as the daughter of Gina Rollins is her grandmother, right? Nick
Yes,
Cassavetes.
love Gina Rollins.
Why she wanted that, and she said that growing up as a celebrity's kid, she always feels like she's a ghost.
It's an interesting way. I always said I felt like I had a guest starring role in my father's
Yeah.
life.
Interesting.
You know, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, it's incredibly privileged. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that
Yeah,
it was
so- it must
full
be
of
so
full of
different.
suffering. It was. I grew up in intense.
No, I'm trying to squeeze something out of you.
But it's very confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of trying to forge your own identity, because you want to emulate your parents, particularly your father, if you're a son. You know that father-son relationship is very intense.
Yeah, and that can put a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, so you feel a certain amount of pressure, but you're like, well, my God, how am I going to outdo that, or how do I top that? And so I think it takes time to sort out who you are. It takes a little more time to sort out who you are, who your values are, apart from the values that you feel obligated to fulfill
Sure.
because it was just the water that you were born in.
Sure.
You know, you breathe it, and so it becomes a part of you, and you think, well, are those my values? Is that what I value? And it took me some time to kind of sort that out, and like not just to be in reaction formation against those values. Like for a while, I was
Of
just
course.
like, fuck that. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, you don't want to be polarized one way or the other. You want to find out who you are.
Yeah, and so when I was young, I didn't want to be I pursued acting. I didn't think I wanted it, and I kind of.
Did you enjoy it?
No, I didn't really
No.
at all. Yeah, I grew up in a fishbowl, so I didn't like making my mistakes in public.
But you like the creative side of things.
I
right?
like
You
creative,
the
but I like
selling
writing.
creative.
I like writing. I like thinking. I like, you ask, what are creative challenges? I love creative challenges. I like thinking things through. I like making my mistakes in private. And
Sure.
that's why I don't like being.
Okay, so let's go back to the business side of things. Okay, so if a client comes to you and they have a product, because what we do, usually it is product based, it's product centric. And so they come to Creative Compound, and you offer all of these, obviously, services, and you're the creative guy that then has to come up with, you don't write the script, you're just the creative director.
No, I often will write
You-
the
you
script,
write
or at
the
least
script.
first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, as a creative director, Creative Compound, I stay all the way through.
Right.
So, I mean, that's one of the things that we really offer at Creative Compound is I don't just hand you off to a copywriter and an art director and say, okay, bye. I'm really
you
close.
make sure
there's
there's a story thread.
I'm
that
there.
goes
I'm there
always
all the way
everything.
through. I'm consulting with client. I'm there on set. I'm there for post,
You're there-
and
are
I'm
you
all
there
the way
for
through delivery.
brochures? Are you there for
I'll
all
consult.
of
I'll
that
consult with that stuff. Print is not
Branding-wise.
is not one of my strengths, but copy is is a strength for me. So I love designers because
Well,
I'm not one.
Just to make sure that what you're doing on screen has this transparency
Right, it's
into the other
absolutely.
online and
Make
and
sure that
print.
everything connects and makes sense as one story.
They're
From
always
start
in-
to
the
finish.
One
consumer,
story.
The consumer is always in one place, no matter where they are. They're in one place
Familiar.
with that brand.
Right, and they turn there and they see something that reminds them of where they just been.
Yeah.
And
There's
I
nothing
totally
that
agree.
bugs me more than brand confusion. Within it bugs me, especially with the people that pay $20,000 for things, and then they're switching their minds one month and the next month, and then all of a sudden their brand is just this modge podge of stuff, and you're like, what are you? What is the brand? And that goes back to what we were talking about, is sort of like simplifying and not being as direct, but kind of giving an overall idea and feeling as to what this brand is, how it fits into your lifestyle, and it not,
Well, in today's world, I might say, and it was interesting because I was just listening to the Beancast, to this, I'm just an avid listener, and did you know that House of Cards, and I'm so...
the TV show?
Yeah, right, the Netflix show.
Uh-huh.
So from the data points of, we can take and make creative that people want. If we look at all of the data points and we look at everything that we can collect in data now, we can actually craft our creative to match what they want, what consumers are really telling us, and we can kind of even go out and survey them in a way so that we know that what we're going to create over here in a visual is really kind of what they want to see, and that's what's so great about being able to collect data and use it in the creative world, and that's what you want. You're giving them not only what they want, but they don't even know they told us they wanted it.
Yeah.
Okay. And House of Cards was created that way. So it's Netflix, right?
Yes.
Whoever it was, they went and they collected all of this data and they created the script around all of the data that so it was a guaranteed hit. It was a
I
guaranteed
didn't
hit.
know that. I mean, I know that Bo Willimon is the creator of it, and he was a playwright, but I didn't know how he came to assemble that.
Yeah, it wasn't some guy thinking this is a really great script. It was, let's send it out. Let's see what everybody says about it. Let's use this wonderful platform that we have to penetrate the consumer on different levels. Let's see what they think about it, and then they adjusted it around that. It was more data driven. They knew it was going to be a hit already.
Right.
Well,
stellar
They knew it was
writing,
gonna be a hit.
perfect acting.
And you can do
Great
that. You can
directing.
do that with products to a certain extent.
To a certain extent,
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's
Well,
like
that's what's great about DR. It's part science and it's
Yes.
part inspiration.
but it's part science, meaning it's part like 1 and 1 makes freaking
Absolutely.
2 people.
And it always does.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you're just not doing good
Yes.
DR.
Yes.
And good DR, and especially what we were talking about, hybrids, leaves room for inspiration, leaves room for the possibility that you might be able to capture someone's imagination.
I
Which
really
is-
love
which is
that
great.
DR combines the creative with the science or the pseudoscience, because there's a lot of psychology involved with it. I mean, you got to understand people, how they're going to react, what they want, what their needs are. And to me, just like combining that, it's almost like finding that mathematical equation that clicks. And you're like, yes, with this creative and with the psychology of the market we're going for, we found it, and this is
Well,
it. And
every
that's so
human
fun
being-
and fascinating.
I don't know if you I'm sure you agree with me, but every human being has a trigger point, and so you have to what makes us so awesome, and the people that like Adam and myself the people that have really truly been seriously.
Not Tony or I or any of us in the room.
No. In
So
PR.
funny. I love you. I know. I just love you.
Serious.
It's a chat show. I'm gonna say off the cuff things. It's funny. I love
You're
you.
totally awesome in everything else that you do except for this.
Wait, I don't do that. I don't do that.
That's right. That's why I said we were awesome. So it's because look, we were called the redheaded freaking stepchild of advertising for
Back in the day,
many,
Yeah,
years.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
we are the smartest freaking people in advertising, and it's
Because you
time
wanted
that
to get the old
everybody
guard out of there and
frickin'
get the
wakes
new.
up.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Getting,
They're waking up because it's changing.
it's not getting the others. We're performance-based, quantifiable advertising and creative. So we base our creative vision is on how do I get the phone to ring? How do I get somebody to click through an ad? How do I get somebody to engage? My job, sorry, I'm on a rant, but my job as a DR person or creative director is not to give you fancy shit. My job is to give you fancy shit and make it work.
Fancy shit that works.
Wait, is that your new Easy GoPro slogan?
Yes.
Fancy shit that works.
Shit that works. No, that's
I'll give you fancy shit and I'll make it work.
That's both. My C-Spot run combined with Easy
Combined,
GoPro.
yeah. That means you only need to file it once.
It's fancy shit. Okay?
Oh,
but
goodness.
it's true. And it's what, it's not what nobody really know. We've been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah.
We understand the science behind it. But the whole world is a-changing. And this is when you go on Zulily.com or you go on Reel
Birchbox.
or Birchbox or any of this, all direct response.
And it's going more and more in that direction because we can get real data about how people are
Right.
responding in real time.
And then you use
So
it.
so you start saying, okay, since I can do that, how can I want to identify the principles that I know work with the greatest degree of predictability. So suddenly DR principles start to make a lot of sense. And
It
top
really
of mind
does.
stuff makes less and less sense. So the big agencies that do all this great big expensive top of mind stuff are somewhat
They're
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
dinosaurs.
Because the brands are now expecting them to be quantifiable.
Exactly.
And you know what?
'Cause
Excuse
justify
me,
the money.
One moment. Hello, brands.
Yes, this is Brennan speaking.
We know how to be quantifiable. It's like you have to seek out the people who have been doing this for quite some time. Don't go to your Wyden Kennedys for that kind of stuff because they're
Unless
just,
you have a lot of money to waste, yeah.
unless you have a lot of money to waste, because you don't need to waste that money, because we're all about what you spend has to be quantified. We have to see that dollar you're spending is making money. If it's not making money, we're not going back, and we're not buying there, and we're not going to air there, and we're not going to play in that playground.
Right.
We're going to go
Right.
where it's going to make money.
We just had a client. We made these beautiful spots where they were really great. They didn't perform the way that we all hoped. It wasn't like at a regular agency be like, sorry,
Right.
Ours was, okay, let's get back and figure out what do we need
Yeah,
to do.
let's
To
look at
what do
what
we
we've
need to do
done.
to the
It's a full service,
CTA?
thorough-
Where are we being too soft? We were deliberately soft. The client wanted to go soft. So they said, so let's harden up the
Change
CTAs.
one variable. Change one at a time.
And let's throw it out against the
Totally,
control.
totally.
Let's A/B test it and see if we get a different result. And then you do that a couple times, and sometimes you open the door. And we did that for another client where we finally found the door. We found the key that opened the door that really motivated people, and it took off. So there's more discipline. It's not you go to Wyden Kennedy. Those spots didn't work, and we spent $3 million making them, and we spent $10 million on a media buy, and they moved the needle buckets,
Zero.
not anything. And the agency goes, sorry.
Is the world of media buying just like in a frenzy right now?
No, because like our sponsor, Direct Avenue, is a media buying agency. So what would happen is if you had a product and you wanted to do a commercial, we would produce a commercial, and then I would advise you, or you would hire me as your campaign
But
manager.
before Direct Avenue, how do you even go about media buying, really?
Direct Avenue buys the media for
Right,
you.
but before Direct Avenue, before they were even a thing,
Direct
it's like
Avenue
you had-
isn't a thing. The media
Wait.
media
What-
buyers
what's
have
your
been
question?
around for 100 years.
That's a good question. What's your question? I think
is sort of breaking into and understanding media buying once you've got your brand and you're going and you've got your content, whatever it is that you need to buy.
Oh,
If
you usually go to a media planning agency.
Okay, so media planning agency.
So they buy bulk media.
but it didn't used to be that way. So it used to be, and I heard somebody say it was kind of sometimes one of the worst things that happened to advertising from the agency point of view. It used to be that you would buy your media through the agency.
Right. Okay.
So the
okay.
agency
Oh,
did
absolutely,
the agency
yeah.
did the media
that's how
plan
they made
and
their
the
money.
buying, and that's how they made their money.
That's how they made their money.
So
And that's where they were. That was a massive
They're making
industry
a
for so
frickin'
long.
shitload.
Right,
it was
right.
no. That's
And
how.
it still exists in certain
That's
sectors.
how
Right,
Wyden
right.
and Kennedy
Yeah.
built what it built on 15% on
72
worldwide
and Sunny,
media,
everybody.
hundreds of millions of dollars worth of media off of Nike and Coca-Cola.
It didn't
and clients
matter
like
if
that.
it didn't matter if their commercial performed. It was the creative. And then in general advertising, they have a flight. So they have a flight of $10 million in media money for a flight of 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, what it
Whatever.
might be for the campaign. That campaign might be like green Nikes, or the next campaign is purple Nikes, right? Okay. But I don't want to say Wyden and Kennedy, but the agency would then get 15, 10, 20%, 15%
Generally
of
it was
of the
15%.
media purchase. So they were guaranteed, but they didn't have to, they weren't accountable to if that commercial performed.
Right. They just had to
They
get the
just-
spot.
Well, no, it's a really good. It's good if you're interested in media. I think the point that Wendy's making is important. So the way it would work was that an agency would buy. If I was Clorox and I wanted to buy media, and I said, okay, I want to buy $10 million worth of media. That $10 million worth of media cost me $10 million if I went to a media buyer, like Western in the old days.
Right. Oh, wow. That's really going
That's
back.
going back. So
And they choose what they're going to buy.
and when they
Well,
if you,
you
in
go
their
through a
hands.
process.
but it's
Okay,
it's-
okay,
That's,
okay.
that's
think
a
of it as
service I offer.
as a retail hotel retail wholesale model. If I'm an agency and I go to a media company and I say I want to buy $10 million worth of media, they say great,
woohoo, let me
great,
have an
that-
orgasm now.
That costs you $8.5 million, and you keep $1.5 million of that of those dollars.
Right.
So that was the standard deal. And the reason that media companies would do that for agencies was because agencies had multiple clients.
Right.
So they wanted agencies to come back and buy media for all of their clients. So they would say, okay, look, we'll give you a 15% rate.
Super
It was
cut.
Awesome
It
business
was
to be into to make a
synergy.
bunch of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, super business. I
And
always
then
say
that in mid to late 90s that stopped.
Yeah.
Things started changing. And now it's a whole
I think that's when
different
Now
Don
it's-
Draper moved to Malibu. Right?
No,
It was a little bit after that.
yeah. So
was Big
it
Star.
actually
Big
it still
Star.
exists. You know, people still
It
live,
does, it
they,
does.
they still live on these big media
Absolutely.
bunches.
Sure,
Team
sure.
One and Lexus
And Pepsi, like
this-
you were
they
in-
still
yeah, they
live
have
on
to.
these big media, these 12-week flights. And
It's
all of
almost
that
like they
stuff.
compete with each other
No,
for the
it's-
biggest
there's
and
no
the most.
There's really no competition.
There really isn't.
So you're in the agency world, and you're either creative director and you're producing commercials, you're an editor, or you're the guy that's coming up with whatever. And and they say, look, we got $15 million, and we're going to spend it over this amount of time. The agency says, yeah, let's go produce these commercials. They sit around, they smoke cigars, they drink a lot of wine, they get their butts licked or whatever. But in the agency world, it's a completely different world than in our world of direct response, where
Yes.
I am the writer, I'm the producer,
Creative
I'm the creative
director,
director, I'm the
right.
wardrober, I'm the conceptualizer, I'm all of that. And
You
then
could be the coder too, and all that.
and then I'm setting up the back end. So I'm
Right.
setting up all of their supply chain and their logistics and
And
everything
we
else.
go to media planners and media buyers.
Yes, that's
and
what-
they
right.
we don't buy in house for our clients.
No.
We say, okay, here's a media agency,
Here's
and
a
a lot
media-
of it's real digital now. So it's
Right.
the
we feel
analytics
that
are
this
whole
media
totally different.
agency, so
It's
media
has the best
agencies
strategy.
are connected with your web, everything is interconnected,
Mm.
but it's been interconnected in our DR world since the 90s.
Right, exact. That is a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that way in DR for a long time. The agency world just got
Agency world's
got
just now
their big
figuring it
chunks all
out.
busted up, and now they're going, oh, so how do? Because clients started saying, well, we don't want to pay that 15%.
if it's not going to give us a return.
No, we just don't want to
right?
pay it
Yeah.
anymore. We know you're making that money.
Yeah.
And we're not getting the results, and we don't like it anymore. So we're going to go
And there's so many other options now.
yeah. So it's all changed. But
That's
on the DR
fascinating.
side,
But
we were ahead of the curve.
what the brands need to understand is you can go pay those big agencies all of that money, but at the end of the day, if you don't seek the true expertise of the people who have been living and breathing quantifiable advertising
Yeah.
for the past 20 years, you're really spending a lot of money for no reason. You're still spending it,
Yeah, I
people.
totally agree.
Because these young people are out there in these digital agencies saying, you know what? I think you got to commit to $30,000 a month and spending on your
Right.
email blast
Right.
because
Oh, God.
for 3 months, and then maybe we'll find you some
bullshit.
orders. No, but this is what they do. And you know what? $30,000 a month to have a touch point with a consumer, brands look at that and say, you know what? That's doable.
Ah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely
but
I get
they don't
that.
know that 98% of people delete those emails right away,
Yeah.
though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but there's also an element that really that
does
of it
work
that
in
really
email.
works.
But there's
Sometimes
So-
you only need 5
Email-
people to respond, and then it
Yeah.
pays
Do
for
you
itself.
know what really works still? You want to know? Is
What?
mailing. When you get stuff in the mail, do you look at your shit in the mail or
No.
do you
Nope.
just throw it away?
Throw it
No.
away.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting. So do I, but they say
No.
that
Response rate is 3 to
you know,
7%.
it's 0.1% of 1%.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
is that in the
That-
Midwest?
No, but it's still enough.
0.1%.
What you have to understand is what is enough. So if 0.1
I guess it depends on what it was.
It's freaking enough.
You know, Wendy, that's an interesting point. Because if I'm on the
enough.
Is
internet,
it worth it? Are you willing to pay it?
Is it enough?
Yeah.
If you're making money by sending out those things at 1%, you already know before you send it out where you're going to break and make money. You already know. So
Right.
if it's traditionally or statistically, it's 0.1% of whatever sent out in direct mail gets a
what
response.
a waste of fucking paper.
But it's not, because they know that 0.1% is what makes them money.
But really,
Send an
in
email.
today's
Stupid.
age, I find that very hard to believe.
No, it's still.
it seems outdated.
I
to
don't
me.
understand why anybody would spend money on that.
I don't
when-
either.
when
And
it's
to me,
all
with the
tech-
internet, which is kind of like the digital version of that, you know.
Do you want to put every mailman in a freaking America out of a
Oh,
job?
no, I'm just putting
No.
mail salesman or whatever.
Don't
they're
you
called.
like getting a letter in the mail? Excuse me.
I don't get letters. I just get bills.
Excuse
Who
me.
sends letters?
I have something to say, and it's my show.
I'm sure.
Segment producer.
Yeah.
Segment producer. Thank you,
Listening.
Tony. Segment producer.
Yes.
Do you not send me a Birchbox for my birthday once a month?
I do, but because you complain about running out of shit.
Okay,
So-
but don't I enjoy getting that?
I
in
got
the
that from my
mail?
dad, and he
You
loved
do.
it.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you.
got-
Yeah, my dad
That's
loves
the
it.
mentality of getting something in the mail.
Right.
People
Yes,
love it.
from learning about it on the
But-
internet.
But I think, but Birchbox is different because I think it's fun to get something once
like
a
a little
month,
gift.
for 12 months. You know, that's
It's like a
super
stocking
fun.
stuffer every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, stocking stuffer.
know what I
a
mean?
monthly stocking stuffer.
Yeah.
But
my
I mean,
God.
the thing is,
But
is
guess
that
what? I
Polished
didn't-
off that whole bottle.
I didn't buy
It's your
that
fault.
for you via a letter I opened.
No. I know, but you have to remember that, and that if it's my job to continuously remind my clients that we do not just live in LA. Our consumers are
Very
not
true.
us.
People
Very
poop
true.
all
Very
over
good.
the world.
Very good point, Wendy.
Consumers
I agree.
are very different than we are, and you have to know, like, to make us happy. I'm a true believer that to make like the LA crowd or like the hipsters of Silver Lake or whatever, we did the whole photo shoot for the toilet stool and all of that, so that I could have diversity in how I reach the consumer and do it in a fun, kind of quirky, memorable, compelling way, right?
yeah, you
Okay.
knocked that out of the park.
All right. So, but I also have the Uggs and the cowboy boots
Yeah.
and the people like that are like middle America that go, oh my God, that's me.
But that's not
you know,
just
I
middle
just froze my
America.
ass off,
That's
you
where
know,
Lonnie
coming
lives.
home.
That's me throwing on my Uggs to take the trash out.
So
you
every-
know, it's
right.
so everybody, you know.
The key is that you have to, if you ever want to have a product and you want to make money with a product, you have to, number one, be in the digestive health poop category.
If you want to make money, be in the poop industry.
category.
Especially if you want to get laid.
Especially
I've
if
been-
you want a
I've
really
done-
sexy business
I've
card
done
too.
very well in the poop category.
Because
And
it's a sexy topic.
Dude.
Poop is a sexy topic.
And talk-
everybody loves talking about poop. Are you kidding me?
I do personally, but only among intimates.
Yeah, I've never
I mean, I know-
talked about poop in front of
I
a guy
wouldn't-
that I'm interested in
Yeah, right.
in my whole life.
Hey,
Like I've had
have
guys
I-
be like, "It's weird you don't go," after like 3 years, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm magic."
Well, excuse me, that is weird.
I know.
Maybe that might be an
That's-
extreme
I'm
example.
magic.
It's really weird.
But yeah, I
Adam,
don't think poop.
Enough
Do you-
about poop.
Do you know? No, wait, hold on. My husband says that I don't poop because I eat so little that my body absorbs all of my food.
Marina
That's very
says that.
efficient of him.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for me to have to poop.
Well,
He's like a Tesla.
Italy should be ashamed of him because he should be eating
A
way
Tesla.
more. if he's
No,
Italian.
it's me.
Okay, you guys wait. We're running out of
me.
time. So Adam,
Yes.
final words, wrap up. Where can we find you online? Where can we find
Go, if
where can
you're
we
in-
find get your services? We need
Go
you
to
for our brands.
creativecompound.com. See our work. We've got case studies there. You can see our past work. We've been doing some really good work this year. Super proud of it. Jeff Markowitz is the owner. He's an amazing guy. Come work with us. We will do great work for you guys.
Perfect, and we'll make sure to put that on Facebook and on all of
Throw
our
it out.
all of our
creativecompound.com.
platforms and
Not
your
like,
links.
not
and-
like we're direct competition with each other or anything.
No. It's cooperative, not competitive.
No, it's not. And I told
Now, if he was still a radio host, then
Now
that'd
we'd
be a
have
different
a
story.
problem.
No, I think there's definitely some synergies there. And what was your boss's name? Jeff?
Jeff Markowitz.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff, if you're listening, if Adam ever doesn't show up for work, you know where to reach me.
He's
Anyway,
been looking for a job. This don't pay the pills. Hashtag.
Thank you guys for having me
has
so
been
much.
awesome.
I had
Thank you so much
so
for
much
coming,
fun.
Adam.
You guys are fun.
Thank
this was
you.
great.
Good one.
I had no idea what to expect, but it wasn't this.
Will you come back again?
Nobody
Absolutely.
does.
Will you
I
please?
I
Thank you.
absolutely
oh my
will.
God,
Thank you.
I loved having you
It was
here.
fun. I had a blast.
Like monthly.
Yeah.
I just loved it, and plus I love that I get to talk to you about our
Yeah.
homeschool.
Yeah,
Kind
you
of,
guys
like,
could geek
stuff.
out about this shit.
Yeah, we
all
can.
day
No, it's
long.
kind of weird.
We
All day
could
long.
geek
Isn't it
out.
weird? It's
Yeah.
weird. All right. So,
Well, thank you, Wendy.
fuck you, John.
I wanted to take the show out.
Wait, I'm gonna ask our guest something.
always do.
Hold on, John.
Are you gonna ask him what he
Excuse me.
thinks it means?
Yes.
No. Do you know what the expression "see you next Tuesday" means?
Of course.
Thank you.
Hey.
What? Why?
Okay, so
Auntie Wendy.
Did she not?
She didn't.
Oh, she thought it was endearing. She
my
thought it
show
was
is
so sweet.
okay. So the show is on Tuesday nights, and so
Yeah.
so 3 weeks ago, John decides to
My
surprise
new
me.
tag out is see you next
Next
Tuesday.
and
Oh.
I said,
That's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
You're so tender-hearted.
Now I'm.
Next Tuesday, yeah. Yeah,
That's
we'll see you
cool.
next Tuesday.
What world do I live in?
It was amazing.
I don't
It was
know. I don't know how you missed that
Yo,
one.
our
We
radio
were
show's on
dying.
Tuesdays.
Well, we all miss a few.
Our radio show's on Tuesdays, and unless there's some Weiss family gathering, I don't see you till Tuesdays.
We say see you next Tuesday, yeah, because it's our radio show is
Because
next
is
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So I could see
But
why.
for you listeners that don't understand what we're talking about,
Look it up.
Just see you next
see
Tuesday.
You next Tuesday.
Or ask your son or daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll know.
Tony, thank you for working.
Tony.
Tony,
thank you.
you're the
He's
boss,
always
man.
the best.
Adam, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Thank you, Adam.
I had so much fun. Thank you guys.
Segment producer.
Thank you, Cassidy. Bye-bye.
C-Spot Talk Marketing Unfiltered is made possible by our sponsors, Direct Avenue, the television media agency where you can expect more. Contact them at directavenue.com. Ending music is courtesy of Tom Orsi at Orsi Digital. You can download audio episodes of C-Spot Talk Marketing on iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher, or enjoy the full-length video uncut on YouTube. Just search for C-Spot Talk in your directory, and while you're there, make sure to subscribe. Special thanks to John Hamilton and Tony Sweet for making Tuesdays the best night of the week. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send me an email at wendy@cspotrun.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.